I am going to begin reading Great Uncle Ernest's first diary, dated Friday, November the 1st, 1901. And I must say he is absolutely beautiful cursive writing, considering he would have been 14 years of age when he started this diary. Friday, November 1st. I am going to keep a diary of the leading events of the neighborhood. The Drummond Township stone crushers have been on the line for the past few days and have broken a great many stones which have been spread along the road and greatly improved it. It has been a very fine fall this year. Pa has been plowing for some time. Today I cleaned out some water furrows and put putty on the windows. At night, Mr. John Allen came down. Saturday, November 2nd. This morning, Pa and Ma went to the funeral of Mr. Ralph Dodd's boy, who was drowned in Grants Creek on October 31st. In the afternoon, we boys went back to the bush, and on the way back, we saw a butterfly, a very unusual sight for November. The cheese factory closed today, and we are now going to send our milk to the Ferry Road Creamery. Sunday, November 3rd. This is Tom Constant's birthday. I did not go to church, but the others went and brought home 3 books. The cows were turned out tonight, but I do not think they will be let out again. Monday, November 4th. We commenced sending our milk to the creamery. Pa took a pig to town today weighing over 400 pounds. This afternoon, Pa went to a sale down in Elmsley, and Ma went to Uncle Alfred's. I carted manure out to put around the apple trees. Tuesday, November 5th. Today was somewhat cold. In the morning, Pa began to plow in the little field at the back, and I picked stones. The cows are continuing to fail still. Wednesday, November 6th. I have been picking stones again today. Pa has been plowing today. I got books from the church Sunday school library. This week I am reading a book entitled Famous Boys. Thursday, November 7th. Today I went to Mr. Charles McShaney's sale. This is the second sale I've gone to, the first being Mr. Brash's on October 4th. I did not see much of the sale, as Pa, Mr. R. Dodds, and Mr. William Pegg and I hunted about for the cattle. We found all of our own cattle, but some of the other men's cattle were in another pasture, and so we did not get them until after dinner. The sale was to begin at 10 o'clock, but it did not begin until after dinner. Pa was appointed clerk, and the auctioneer was well satisfied with his work. He bought 2 young heifers. Some of the stock went fairly well, while others went pretty cheaply. Friday, November 8th. I have been picking stones again today, and Pa was plowing. The weather is still fine enough to pick stones without feeling the cold too much. Saturday, November 9th. This is King Edward's 60th birthday, but it was not observed in the vicinity. Today, I obtained help of the other lads and gathered wood for the thrashing. I very much fear it will be very cold tonight. Sunday, November 10th. I was to church today and attended a meeting before church held in the lecture room. This afternoon I went, as is my custom, to Sunday school. It was very cold this morning, and I am afraid the cold weather has set in. Monday, November 11th. It was quite cold this morning, and Pa and I built a pen for the straw stack. There are several people in the neighborhood who have not threshed. After building the pen, Pa went to plow. About 10 o'clock it began to snow, and continued to do so until noon, when it began to rain. Today, the King's birthday was observed in a holiday by many instead of on Saturday. Tuesday, November 12th. This morning it was raining, and Pa did not go to plow. This afternoon, I prepared the barn and the granary for the threshing. Wednesday, November 13th. Nothing of importance happened today. It was cold and raw, and we put in the young cattle for the first time tonight. Pa is still plowing, but I do not know whether it will freeze tonight and be too hard to plow after this. Thursday, November 14th. There was no plowing today, and it snowed last night, but Pa and I banked up the windows and did other trivial jobs that have to be done about the farm. Friday, November 15th. Very little was done today, as it was an ugly, dirty day and snowed some of the time. This afternoon, Pa and Ma went to town and saw several cutters, although sleighing is not really here yet. Saturday, November 16th. Pa went to the mill today with a load of wheat, and we put in the calves this evening. They would have been in sooner, but the buyer was not ready. Sunday, November 17th. I was not at church today, but several of the others were. Mr. Robertson, who has been laboring in northern Ontario, gave an address, which was very interesting. This afternoon, I went to Sunday school. Monday, November 18th. Today I sawed and split wood for the threshing, and Pa went to town this afternoon. I was sliding downhill for the first time tonight. Tuesday, November 19th. Very little was done at home today. This morning, I went away with Pa and learned that Mr. T. Moody's horse had died last night. Tonight, Alice and I went over to Mr. Hogan's and had a pleasant evening playing fruit basket and other games. Wednesday, November 20th. Maggie Moody was married at 4 o'clock this afternoon to Mr. Albert Jackson of Harper. Pa stayed at home and worked at the cheese factory books. Thursday, November 21st. Pa is still working on the interests of the cheese factory. Today we were preparing the straw and the barn for the threshing. Friday, November 22nd. Pa spent most of the day working on the factory books. This morning I was engaged in making a scaffold in the barn for straw and in digging a hole in the oat mow to allow the sheaves to have a free passage to the mill. George Moody is having a shooting match of turkeys, geese, and ducks at Mr. Fred Moody's, which is 3 miles from Perth. The day has been fine until this evening when it began to rain and afterwards turned to snow. Saturday, November 23rd. It is much colder today than it has been. There is more frost on the window frame than there has been. This morning, I helped make a hole in the wheat mow. This afternoon, Pa and Ma went to town, and we 4 oldest milked our 14 cows alone. I'm going to finish here for today. I love how my great-uncle would place items in the pages that must have held some importance to him. Here is a cheese statement from 1903 showing Ernest Pa, my great-grandfather, J.F. Ferrier, as secretary and treasurer. It shows they made a profit of $19,873 for the year. The cheesemaker's salary for the year was $633.98. Then there's this flyer from the William Buck Stove Company. I'm going to bet he liked the picture of the buck on it. And there's this one from the John Ritchie Lumber Company that has a pretty girl on it. Not sure if he liked the pretty girl or if he just liked the company. I continue to marvel at what I'm reading and touching was almost 120 years ago. I hope you enjoyed this. Please stay tuned for more.